What's up? Welcome back to another video here on Free Will Photos, and today we are going to do another quick edit. I went to the National Zoo over the weekend, and here is a prairie dog. That's what it is, and we're going to go ahead and edit this photo. If you caught my earlier video in the week, you would have seen that I was using presets, or at least explaining how you can use a preset to edit images. So I think that it's only fair to start off with a preset. So let's find wildlife. We'll come here. And I think this is actually called Wildlife Portrait, which it is. And these are, if I'm not mistaken, maybe additional presets that you would have to purchase from ON1. I'm not sure if these ones come with ON1, can't remember. But we're going to see what's happening here. And I just want to get started really quickly. And this is where presets really do shine. You know, that's actually kind of cool with the little frame, and my computer is just moving extremely slow on me right now. This is not ON1. This is just my computer's cooperation. But you know what? I think I like the frame idea. So we're going to go with the frame, and I even like what it's doing to the overall image. Okay, so we're going to click that, let ON1 think itself through, and here we are. Now, one of the beautiful things, I'm going to go ahead and get us some more real estate here while we edit. One of the beautiful things about using presets inside of ON1 Photo Raw is the fact that none of the presets actually impact your develop settings. All of the presets are really designed to work as effects, and you can essentially come over here and turn off all of your effect stacks and really start to rebuild the image. So this is using some of the AI technology, and I can tell that by coming over here and hitting the letter O, and you can see that it already masked out the prairie dog, which is really, really helpful when you're working with wildlife, because you know this is very clearly a distinguishable animal. So ON1 was able to pick that out, which is awesome. All right. And then of course we have a color enhancer, and the photo was probably a little washed out. Looks like it's adding in some vibrance and some saturation. I'm not mad at that. And then it looks like it put a glow around the rest of the image, and that just helps the prairie dog kind of pop off of the background, which I'm okay with. I'm good with that. The border was the only thing that I think I really, really wanted to tweak here. And the reason I don't like my borders to be so thick. All right. So we're going to come down here, and we're just going to pull the scale down. And I usually like my border to be around -9. We'll leave it at 8, and then we're going to pull the fit to image down, so that way we don't get that black inner box. I don't like that. I don't think that that's necessary. You may want that in your image, but I don't want that in mine. And I think we'll come to about here. So what else would I do to this particular image? I think it needs a crop. I think it needs a crop that kind of puts the prairie dog more to the left. I kind of centered him when I photographed it. And I don't think I need as much of that space down at the bottom. So we'll do something like so. And maybe bring them up like this. All right. So let's go ahead and hit enter. And this to me is a much better image overall. This is what I would want for the photo. So here's what we had coming in to the editing, and here is what we have so far. Now, I like to be a little bit more creative with my photos. So what I'm going to do is come up here to snapshot, and we're just going to call this base edit, because I think that this does a really good job at getting the initial look of the image that we want. Now, everything that I do, I want to be underneath the border. So I'm just going to click on the glow, and we are going to throw in a sunshine filter. Now, I love what the sunshine filter does to an image. All right. If I go ahead and push the warm tones, you can see how that just warms up the image. I really do enjoy this. And you kind of have to play with the amount slider here. If I pull it up or down, I kind of like what's happening when I pull it up, but I don't want to like over bake the photo. So let's go somewhere around here. And I think that that's looking pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and pull down on the opacity because I think that this could use a little bit of opaqueness. Yeah, I think that this looks good. So let's turn it off and then turn it back on. And I like what it's doing to the overall image. So I'm going to go with that. Now, what I really want to do here is kind of give him something to look at. And the way that I like to give the animals in my image, or really just anyone in the image, especially something like this, is by adding in a sun flare. So there's a sun flare filter. Let's go ahead and just throw in the sun flare filter. And the default one is usually my favorite, but I don't think that that's going to work for this particular image. So I need to find something that, in fact, this looks pretty good right here, but it just doesn't look like it's well placed. It doesn't match the overall scene, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is come over here to the scale, and we're just going to scale it up. And that gives us a little bit of that orange glow over there. But I think I need to move it. So I'm going to click on the little crosshairs here, pull this around until I get this in a place where I think it makes sense for the overall image. Maybe around here looks pretty good. I think that's good. And then what I'm going to do is use the masking features, and I'm going to mask some of this sun flare away from our little prairie dog here. So I'm just going to mask it away from there. I probably need to use a flow. So let's go ahead and undo that really quickly, because I think it does look pretty good to have this effect on him. But we'll pull the flow down to about 40%, and we'll just paint that away from the front there, or maybe from the back. Let's see what happens when we paint it away from right back here, because I don't think that, yeah, that looks way more believable to me. Okay, so what else would I do in this particular image? Because honestly, I think that it's good where it is. We could stop right here and be very, very satisfied with the overall look. But I want to go to local adjustments, and I want to use, let me see if I have a brush for eyes. It does not look, oh, animal eye brush. There it is. Well, that's not it. Let's go with this, and we're going to go ahead and grab our brush tool by hitting the letter B. Eventually, it's going to pop up. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to paint this over the eye, and it just gives a little bit of a detail. And I do have a low flow, or at least a flow of 40. So I think that that looks pretty good. Let's turn it off and turn it back on. It's very subtle, but it works as far as like making the eye pop just a little bit. And it really does help with the overall image. So the last thing that I'm going to do in this image is actually come back to the effects. And this probably isn't the last thing. I'm just noticing this sun flare was really, really strong. And I don't think that we need it to be that strong. All right. Or at least I don't think it didn't need it to be that strong. And then what I like to do in a lot of my images, you see me do this often, is I will add in a vignette. So let's hit the letter M on the keyboard, get the masking bug. We'll just go ahead and click right there over our little prairie dog, and this is actually working the way that I want it to. So we'll just pull this in and then pull out the feather, and that is my final edit. So here is the before, and here is the after of this particular image. I really do like it. I could probably even do without the border, to be honest. I kind of like the border, but I could do without the border just like so. And I think that this would still be a phenomenal image. You let me know, do you prefer the border or do you not prefer the border? Hopefully you found some value in this particular edit. If you did, smash the like button. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want to help this channel, consider using the coupon code FreeWillPhotos20 whenever you shop over at the ON1 store. I make a small commission, you get to save some money, and it's a win-win for everybody. If you got questions, leave it in the comment section below. And until the next time, I want you guys to stay inspired and keep creating. Peace.